Alright, welcome back everybody to this lesson, and in this one I'm going to be teaching you about arpeggios and why they are so important and how to play them. So before I explain what arpeggios are, arpeggios are like one of the most fundamental concepts in music. It's not a difficult concept, but it's a very commonly used technique that you're going to be finding in a lot of piano music. You're going to find it in literally any other instrument that you're going to go and learn if you want. When you're listening to music, you're going to notice that arpeggios are used a lot in the melody. You're going to notice that they are used, in other instruments in the track. So they're very commonly used in all sorts of ways. And for you to develop as a musician, it's very important for you to know what they are, what they're used for, and how to play them. So an arpeggio is when you take a chord and you play each note separately. So for example, if I take C major, if I play each of these notes, the C, E, and G, separately, that would be an arpeggio. And this goes with any chord. If I were to play, F major, arpeggio. And this can go on for major or minor chord, does not matter. An arpeggio is very simply playing each note of a chord one by one. There's really not much construction here. You don't need to know much to be able to play an arpeggio, because when you learned how to create a chord, you had to know the 4-3 and 3-4 technique. But with here, once you know the chord, you can instantly play the arpeggio. So if I asked you to play a G major arpeggio, you would create the G major chord. So a G, you count 4 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now we have these notes, and you're going to play them one by one. There are many ways to play arpeggios, but for now the most basic one is simply 1, 3, and 5 on just one hand. So I want to have a go at this. I'm going to give you one to play. So have a go at it. So go to C major and play that C major arpeggio, right? So go to C, and you're taking the C major chord, C, E, and G, and you play 1, 3, 5, and you play them one by one. You're going to notice that they have similar intervals. So the intervals are equal. It's not like you're playing one note for a bit longer and then the other note for shorter. You're not doing any of that. So make sure that your timing is kind of regular. Just keep it at that speed for now. Just practice that for a bit, just with your right hand to get comfortable with it. You want to make sure that your form is, allowing you to play this as easily as possible. Because if your fingers are like really flat and your wrist is down here and you're trying to play this, it is uncomfortable. This is very hard to play in. So just make it easy for yourself. Now we're going to do the same thing in the left hand. So go to C major on the left hand, and you're going to play 5, 3, 1. So I'm going to count for you first, 1, 2, 3, and then we both come in on the 1. I'm going to explain this more in detail, soon, but for now, just come in on the 1, and then we play together. So here's an example: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's try that together. You're going to go on your left hand on the C major arpeggio. So I'm going to count 3 first, and then we come in on 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. For some of you, that might seem a bit too slow, or it's too easy, but the purpose of this is just to get you used to playing, equally in time, because we're going to start to make it harder. Now do the same thing on your right hand. So you're going to go C major again, and we're going to play right now. So I'm going to count 3 first, and then we plan 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that I would call that level 1. Now, please go through that again if you're not comfortable doing that yet with each hand separately, because it's best that you are comfortable doing that before we move on to the next level. So have a go at that again if you're not already comfortable, and if you are, then we'll just move right on. So here's level 2. We're going to play both hands at the same time. Might be a bit intimidating, but I promise you it's very, very easy. So you're just going to put both your hands on C in the correct places. So your left hand will be 1 octave below middle C. You're going to put your pinky there, 5, 3, 1 on the C, E, and G. And the same on the right hand from middle C, 1, 3, and 5. And here's what you're going to be playing. So here's, the example. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's it. So have a go practicing that just now before we play it together. You can pause the video right now if you want, and all you're doing is playing the arpeggio left to right going upwards. You want to try and keep the intervals the same, and a very common beginner tendency is to play very softly on some notes and then suddenly play very loudly, or come into too suddenly. These are very normal things. If you're doing these, it's completely okay, like really, because you're gonna definitely improve that over time. So just try your best to keep everything in a medium level, not too soft and not too hard or fast. So just pause now and just practice that for a second, and then we're gonna do that together and just try and keep in time. Okay, so I'm gonna count 3 and then we're gonna play together on 1. All right, so get ready. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. We'll do that one more time, and we're gonna do that twice. So that time we did it, once through, and then now we're gonna play it twice. So that's the fast version. Obviously, we're gonna take it much slower. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, no matter how you did there, I can guarantee it was better than you did at the very beginning. So either way, now you know kind of what to expect, and this is the level that I'd like you to be, playing at comfortably. So if you're not comfortable with that yet, then take some time just now to practice that, and then we're gonna move on to a level 3. So in level 3, we're gonna do the exact same thing as level 2, but we're gonna up the speed a bit, and we're gonna go up and down rather than just up. So here's an example. I'm also gonna be counting it slightly differently. So see if you can spot the difference. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and then you go again. So there, once you go up, you're counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then when you get to the last note, you hold it for 2 beats rather than 1. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then again 1, 2. So on the last note, you're playing it twice if you're gonna go back up. So take a second just to practice going up and down and counting, in the right time. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, just as you were. Practice that, and then we're gonna have a go together. Okay, so we're gonna go together. Remember to keep the right form. You don't want to have flat fingers or a low wrist. You're gonna be comfortable, and just relax your elbows and shoulder. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you might be uncomfortable doing that yet because you've yet to, build the strength in your fingers, but arpeggios is one of the best things you could possibly do to increase your finger strength, because here you're individually playing one note after the other, and you have to actually think about your time. You have to think that, and you have to strengthen your individual fingers so that you're not playing anything way too softly or way too loudly. You have some control. You're actually hitting the right note, and you're not, playing two notes at once, for example. And you're absolutely gonna find it in pieces that you're gonna learn. I can guarantee you that in some form or another, you will see arpeggios in a song that you're gonna wanna go and learn that, has melody. Now, speaking of melody, I did briefly touch on this a few lessons ago when I was explaining what melody was compared to harmony, and I'm going to quickly recap. And the reason I'm teaching you this is because you're going to be playing them quite differently from each other. You're going to play them at different times, in different ways. They're kind of in separate categories, but they're both incredibly, incredibly important. And it's also quite good to know how they relate to each other. So, to recap, melodies are when notes are played one after another, and harmonies are when notes are played at the same time. So an example of melody would actually be an arpeggio, because you're playing one note after the other. Now with harmonies, if you were to play a chord, one hand, two hand, doesn't matter. Chords are also harmonies. But again, it's not just chords that are harmonies. Anytime you have two or more notes playing at the same time, that's a harmony. So again, they could be completely unrelated, or they could be related. And I'll explain, this relation thing also later. So now that hopefully you're more comfortable with arpeggios, we're gonna play an exercise that I will create for you. Like I'll compose it for you, and then we will do that together. Now this is going to be a very common thing that you're going to see throughout this course, where I will compose something specific to the exercise and concepts that I want to be teaching you, because frankly a lot of materials out there that teach concepts like melodies and harmonies and arpeggios versus chords, the sound of them is quite like cheesy almost, like it's way too simple. There's no like middle ground. It sounds too childish even. So what I like to do is compose something that will sound really nice, that you can actually enjoy playing, but you'll also benefit hugely from the actual exercise itself, that's based on where you are if you're following this course chronologically. So here's what we're going to be playing together. We're going to do a C minor arpeggio instead of a C major arpeggio. So C major would be this, and a C minor, right? Because that's the C minor chord. And then we're going to raise this pinky up to this A flat. And then back down to C minor. Now I'm going to explain this so that you can actually understand and not just, robotically follow everything without having any idea why that works. So when you're playing this C minor arpeggio, this is, very naturally the C minor arpeggio. There's nothing different about it. But when we raise this pinky here, the sound quality kind of changes. It's moving in a different direction. But the reason that sounds that way is because it's actually an inversion. This is an arpeggio inversion. Now let me show that to you. If we go to C minor, that we're in our natural position. Then I'm going to go to A flat major, which is here. Why I picked this one is another concept of music theory, which I'm not going to explain now. But we're going to go to the A flat major here. Then I'm going to do a first inversion. So I'm taking this A flat and I'm throwing it up here. And now the notes I'm left with And there you go. That is a first inversion A flat major, which is very close to the C minor. So for that reason, that's how that works. So here's what we're going to be doing together, and this is the right hand. I'm going to still be counting in 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So very simply, for each arpeggio, so for the C minor and the A flat major, you're playing the arpeggio twice and then shifting. So if I were to do it very, very quickly, now that's not what you're aiming to do right now, but that's just to prove my point. So practice doing that on your own for a second, and then when you're ready, unpause the video and we'll have a go together. Okay, let's have a go at this together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Move up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Back up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So hopefully that should be fine. So your left hand is going to be playing the root note at an octave for each chord. So let me explain. Because the arpeggios are based on the chords, it's very easy to know what the left hand is going to be doing, because it's going to be the actual root note for the chord. So in C minor, the root note is obviously going to be C, so your left hand is going to be playing C. Then, because we're in the A flat major arpeggio, A flat, the root note would be A flat. So we go to A flat over there. Even though the lowest note in that inversion is still C. If we were in the root position, we'd be playing this as the lowest note, but no matter the inversion, whatever the chord is called, that is the root note. And there's really no time where that's going to be not applicable. So here's what you're going to be doing in your left hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you repeat that in proportion to your right hand. So if you are not yet comfortable using a full octave on your left hand, or you have a smaller keyboard, then here's what you can do. You have two options. If you have a smaller keyboard, then you can move everything an octave up if the left hand if you don't have the space on the left hand. So you can do up here. But if you're simply just not comfortable doing the octave yet, so you can just use one hand, you can play the C on 1 and the A flat on 3. And you're going to switch like that. Okay, here's what it's going to sound like together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and then you go again. Okay, so pause the video and practice that on your own for a while. And when you're ready, come back. But I would suggest that when you're practicing, you try and keep a time, right? So you can either use your foot, like 1, 2, 3, I don't even know if you can see, or you can say it out loud, or even both. Okay, so come back when you're ready. All right, so we'll have a go at this together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and move. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and move. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and move. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so good job. And you might have noticed that I was, telling you to and move, significantly earlier before the actual 1 beat. So this is because you want to anticipate the movement you're going to make it much, much easier on your brain, because you don't want to have like too much things that you're thinking about at once, and there's like this pressure of the time always moving forwards. You want to kind of prepare yourself so that it's a very, very smooth transition. If you wait too late to decide when to move and actually have a plan on what you're going to do, then that's where a lot of mistakes come from, and this is actually a problem that a lot of musicians face. So anticipation is very, very important, and it's a skill that we're going to definitely be building on. So just before you next have your big move, decide, like look exactly what you're going to do and decide. So when you're playing the C minor arpeggio, now you can decide, okay, I'm going to just move my pinky up. Or on your left hand, you're going to go to that A flat. And it makes it much, much easier if you plan ahead. So if you had trouble staying in time, do that again, but with the anticipation, you will see an improvement. Now, arpeggios combined with harmonies in left hand can go many, many different ways in many different complexities. Now, obviously what you just played is, quite a basic version. It can go much more in depth. For example, so you can see I'm using a lot of different things. I'm using the pedal, which you'll learn about, different variation of that arpeggio, but we're definitely going to work you up to that higher level. But we got to take it step by step first. Now I'm saying this because it's very common for people at the start, especially, to make things much more rushed than they have to be, because it sounds cooler. Like, of course it sounds cooler when you do. Of course it sounds cooler, but if your mind to muscle connection isn't there yet, you're asking your brain and body to do too much before you can actually do it comfortably. And for that reason, when you go really fast, you might not have control, so you might be doing and getting the wrong notes, and you're off time, different strengths, which also we're going to get to. But for now, take it slow and do the tasks that I say do them, because everything is planned in a specific way to get you there efficiently. Now, for your actual task, there are 2 things I would like you to practice. Your first thing is to do the both hand arpeggio up and down for C major. So this is what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I want you to practice until you can do it at that level, comfortably and in a controlled way. Now the second thing is just basically to practice that exercise that we did together of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, ideally, it would be great if you can get it up to that level. It might take you, a little bit longer than your previous exercises have been. But if you can get it up to that speed and control, then that would be going above and beyond what, people at your level will be doing right now. So, take your time with both of those. And your extension task is to do the arpeggio run, but on a different key that is more difficult. So I'm going to pick for you D major. So instead of the C major, you're going to do it on D major. And it's the exact same concept of you take the chord, the 1, 3, 5, and you just play that one by one, because that's the chord. You do it on left hand and back down, and that would be your extension task. So that's all for this lesson, and please watch the next lesson once you're comfortable with those initial 2 tasks. And obviously your extension task is optional. All right, I'll see you soon.